More than 4.5 million people suffer dog bites in this country every year. These incidents often finding the dog's owners in legal hot water. Well, joining us with some helpful information that will hopefully keep you out of the doghouse is Steven Goldberg, partner at the Steinberg Law Firm. It's great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on.
So when we're talking dog bites, let's just start with dog bites that happen at your home. So how does the state look at dog bites, first of all?
Sure. So in South Carolina, if you own a dog and the dog bites a guest or someone who's invited to your house, you are responsible, not the dog. We don't know what the dog was thinking at the time. So South Carolina has what we call strict liability, meaning that the owner is responsible for any injuries that are caused by the dog bite. There's not a one bite rule. The first bite doesn't matter.
And there's no defense against provocation or anything like that?
There is. That's it is strict liability. The only way to get around that is if you provoke the dog or you somehow attack the dog, which is hard to prove, but it would strike that, correct.
What kind of protections are in place for both the biter and the bitee, if you will?
Sure. So the owner of the dog should make sure that they're covered under their homeowner's insurance policy. What I've seen a lot in the recent years is that insurance companies are excluding your dog from being covered. So make sure you talk to your insurance company and buy the rider, because if your dog bites somebody, and dogs have bad days too, right?
Sure, yeah.
And something can happen. You may have the nicest dog in the world. I hear that all the time. My dog, he's so nice, but you just don't know what's going to happen. But if you don't have insurance policy to protect you, then your assets, such as your home and your car, could be at risk.
Is it expensive?
It's not too expensive to get a dog rider policy. It depends on the breed of the dog and if the dog has bitten before as to how high your rates are going to be.
And they ask that anyways when you are applying for insurance. And I know certainly for homeowners insurance, but also for renters insurance, do you own a dog? What is the breed of your dog? How heavy is your dog?
Right.
So those are all reasons to get insured or to refuse.
Yeah, those are, well, I can tell you, you mentioned renter's insurance. I can promise you that 100% of the renter's policies don't cover dogs, so you probably want to get a rider for that dog as well. I have a lot of clients who come in, a renter, someone's renting a home and the dog bit them pretty severely, and they want to sue the owner of the home. You can't do that. It's the owner of the dog, not of the house that you're in.
Another question I have, okay, so let's say that the bite does not happen on your property, that it doesn't happen at home. Let's say it's at a park, a dog park, something like that.
Yeah, I would say a majority of them happen that way, and you are still responsible. And usually your homeowner's policy will be a rider for the dog as well.
Oh, it is. So that rider is applicable to a remote location?
Sure. A lot of homeowners policy protects you from any liability. I mean, we're all used to car liability, but if you did something negligent that hurt somebody, usually your homeowner's policy will cover you no matter where you are. Dogs are no exception because you're the one responsible. Right. But again, you want to make sure you have that on your policy, because you'll see, and they'll say dogs are excluded, or other animals that bite are excluded.
Finally, for those dogs out there whose bark is more severe than their bite, is there any claim for, you scared the bejesus out of me?
No, and the legislature's pretty clear on that. It has to be a physical contact of some sort, dog jumping up and pushing you down or biting or something to that nature, yes.
I want to thank you so much for sharing with us. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
We're back after this.